And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey. Keaton, it is playoff time. Before we get into all the matchups and what's happened so far, we're going to touch on some around that hockey, some news from the past week. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, it looks like a few coaches have been fired, and even a GM has been told they're not going to be renewed. So it looks like Anaheim has moved on from Greg Cronin. Looked to different options this off season. Ducks had a decent push in the middle bit. Unfortunately, that eliminated pretty quickly at the end there. But I mean, I feel like they've got a pretty good core. But maybe that new coach will help out, and especially doing it so soon that they also get the off-season training and everything else with this new coach. I mean, that's going to help a lot. So, I mean, hopefully with regards to their ability to climb back into the playoffs this next season. I don't know how long their drought is, but it's been at least 2 or 3 seasons. So
they're super young too. So I mean, they definitely need more than just a coach. But yeah, going ahead and getting an early start on that, as opposed to like what you saw with the Red Wings sticking with old Gru for a little bit, and then you don't get that
for half the season. And I mean, we had a good coach bump, but I mean, we just fell into the same principles and same habits. So it just kind of didn't really feel like they just had to forget everything, which is hard to do, I guess, in the middle of a season. But yeah, I mean, in addition to Anaheim, we've got the Rangers letting go their coach. Peter Laviolette has been fired. I don't know exactly how long he's been there, but I mean, after the President's Trophy last season, I mean, that's kind of crazy. Absolutely no remorse whatsoever, it seems like. So, hey, it's the business. So he'll look to see if he'll get hired somewhere, maybe the Ducks. Who knows? But
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that team started really slow this year, and they almost pushed for that last wild card spot. They didn't, quite get there.
Yeah.
But that
trade deadline helped with the JT Miller addition, and I guess everything else they might have done. I don't know everything they did.
Well,
but,
and still while getting rid of Trouba, or not Trouba, I'm sorry. Was it Fox?
Yeah, they did get rid of Trouba.
No, it was Trouba. It was Trouba. They still got Fox.
Yeah, they sold him to Anaheim.
Yeah,
I guess sold him, but yeah,
I know what you mean.
And that's kind of why Anaheim's not too shabby anymore. At least not the worst team in the world. But yeah, looks like Dan Bilsma, I don't know. He's out of Seattle after one season. Did have no faith in this guy, so I don't know. Out of 4 seasons, Seattle has only made the playoffs once. So they're not looking too great.
Seattle's had the complete opposite story of an expansion franchise Vegas. As compared to Vegas, man. Like, complete opposite.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And I mean, not to say that they really have the worst team in the franchise, but I mean, they kind of seem like they do. But hey, so he's out. I mean, he brought on a lot of not players, but coaches and staff. I mean, as his own to start out the season. I don't remember exactly when he was hired, but I believe it was probably right around the beginning of the season, if not the off season. Mm-hmm. So he's brought in a lot of staff, and who knows what they'll do. I mean, he brought in Jessica Campbell as the first female coach, but like I said, who knows if she'll be retained for whatever reason. I mean, not to say that she's a bad coach or anything, but
you hate
she wasn't really given much to be on Seattle's squad. So we'll see what happens.
You only brought up his firing just so you could talk about is it Jessica Campbell?
Boy, okay.
Campbell some more.
I mean, it's kind of wild that Bilesma didn't get much of a chance compared to Derek Lalonde, because he got 2.5, 3 seasons, if not more. And
I don't know what was expected with the roster Seattle had. Like, let's not act like that team should have been in the playoffs.
I mean, maybe he had just the craziest interview where he just promised way too much, and that's just where it is. And they had way too high of expectations, and they ended up sucking ass just like last year. So, yeah, I don't know.
Tough.
We'll see what happens over these off season, much like the Ducks and Rangers. In addition to not necessarily a firing, but Lou Lamoriello is not going to be renewed with the Islanders. The GM, I believe, has been with the Islanders the last 7 seasons. I think he missed the playoffs twice out of that, which is kind of crazy. I mean, they did squeak in last year, but this past year, we'll see what happens. I mean, had a hell of a career, I would say, honestly. I mean, mostly due to tenure. He's got 325 playoff games and is the highest of any GM or president in the NHL currently. He's 82, so I mean, there's that. But
okay. He was just
I mean, that could be. May not get another job just due to age, but he did notably pick Austin Matthews for the Leafs back when they had that pick. So, yeah, pretty cool, I guess. I mean, he's not terrible as a GM, so to speak, but yeah, made some moves, and they're probably going to let go. Like I said, being 82, who knows if he'll get picked up by another team for whatever reason.
Who knows if he even wants to at this point.
Yeah, and I do believe his son is over like the AHL franchise or something like that, and who knows if he'll be retained either, because I saw some tweet about how he's probably made the playoffs 4 out of like 20 or 25 seasons that he ever coached or GM'd or whatever else, been a part of the front office. And yeah, it doesn't really look like he adds much. I mean, the different teams overall, his career, but I mean, only making the playoffs. And I don't think they even went very far. I think they like losing the first round each time too. So pretty bad. So who knows if they'll retain that guy either. But nepotism. But hey, we got some playoff games that were played. For whatever reason, Tampa and Florida only played 1 game when everyone else played at least 2.
The scheduling
makes no sense.
Bad.
The scheduling is awful. You know, with that and like the remote broadcasting from like TNT, I don't know if ESPN does it, but they probably do. But like, it just doesn't seem as great as it could be. But I mean, I'm glad that they're being
broadcasting. That's so bad.
I know for TNT for sure it does, because like they like have like a dimmer on the crowd noise and everything. And I know at least with the Dallas Avs game, that was just huge at the end of the game, and everyone was just loud as fuck. But yeah, I mean, all they really want to hear is the broadcasters at that point with the TV views, etc.
I watched a clip,
and they can't even like articulate stuff either. Calling people like Mason Raymond instead of Lucas Raymond. It's ridiculous.
The national broadcasters on average don't know anything about like small market teams, or like Dallas isn't a small market, but they only know things about the original 6. Like they don't know like whenever I watch,
or like big names, or
man. They took so
common
long
knowledge,
to catch
so to
on
speak,
to like Wyatt Johnson or Jason Robertson. They're like, this young guy came out of nowhere. Like, no, he was doing this last year. He came out of nowhere. Well. Dude, yeah, I can't stand the national broadcast. It's horrendous. And then why turn the crowd noise down? Like, one thing I love, I saw a clip from like 08 hockey. It was probably during that Ovechkin run, and it's like a regular season game, and he scores a goal, and the crowd erupts, absolutely goes berserk.
And you can barely hear the dude saying, "Oh my god, it's a goal," or whatever the fuck else.
Yeah,
you know?
But that's what you want. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to feel that secondhand excitement. There's no reason to, I guess, watch the game if you're not really going to be that excited.
Dude, if the people there are silent, what the hell should I feel about it? Like, you want it to be like a club, like a crazy atmosphere, wild that makes.
I mean, there is crowd noise, but who knows if it's even a track at that point either? Because like
barely there, man. I heard of multiple people who were at the Stars games, the last 2 games or first 2 games of the playoffs, that said it was insane. And watching it on TV, it was regular. It seemed like a regular season game. I don't know, man. That's a shame that you don't get to hear that.
It's not too great, but yeah. Oh well. I mean, outside of that, I mean, I feel like the NHL's playoffs are definitely way better than anything else that's going
Oh,
on. I
I
can't
love it,
stand what
man.
Jalen Brunson's doing on a different topic, but
Oh
yeah,
my.
pretty awful. And I mean, NFL playoffs are kind of similar as well with so many fucking flags. But yeah, I mean, NHL definitely has some rough interference here and there, but I mean, dude, it's a fast paced game. It's pretty hard to catch everything, let's be honest. But
Well, the thing too that's beautiful
still,
about the NHL playoffs is that it genuinely feels like any series, any game could have gone to any team. I know, like
at least
Minnesota
for the
coming into
most
the
part.
playoffs. Well, no, I mean, like, look, Ottawa has
Well, dude,
outshot Toronto, even though Toronto does have the 2-goal or 2-game lead. Like, Ottawa's outshot them each of the 2 games. St. Louis, they do lose to Winnipeg, but in particular, that first game
they
looked
made a pretty
really
close game
strong to
this.
start. Like
Yeah.
in the NBA playoffs, you have the Thunder taking on Memphis. There's a 0% chance Memphis gets by the Thunder. And like pick your biggest, I don't know, dominant or least competitive series in the NHL, and it's still much more competitive than what you'll find in basketball or in football in general.
Or potentially even baseball, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, man. Like
I mean,
it's
because I don't know, I've heard about the Dodgers, $1 billion roster or whatever it is, but yeah, I mean, kind of crazy either way. Definitely is a lot more exciting. There's a lot that happens, and you can definitely feel the excitement from the crowd, even if it is dimmed from the TV. But yeah,
and you
definitely
can tell
love
from the
the last
players
few
like
games.
it's such a higher level game. Like I swear they're going
Oh, it feels like the
25%
regular
faster
season they didn't even
somehow.
try,
Yeah, which
and
is
then now
ridiculous.
it's like, all right, let's actually do something, and so you
It
actually get that quality play of hockey.
it really reminds me of what was the international tournament they did over the All Star weekend? 4 Nations. It felt like that
Yeah,
intensity of Canada versus the U.S. in the first game, excluding the fights. I mean, there's still some scrappiness, but you don't want to get suspended, so there's definitely going to be less fights. But as far as
yeah,
physicality, the hits on the ice, how quick skaters are just flying around. I mean, it is somehow like a higher level game. It's incredible, honestly, to watch. And like I said, man,
yeah,
every game, like I don't know, it's in Montreal even like try to come back on Washington. I think Washington had to go to overtime in their win over Montreal. Was it
yeah.
overtime? Yeah, with
Oh
Ovi.
yeah, it was kind of funny, at least in that game, because Ovechkin scored the game winner, and right, I think it was 10 seconds. The announcer was like, "Ovechkin's never had a game winner in the playoffs in overtime or something like that," and then right away, there he is. I
What
think
a
it was from
game.
his office too, so even better.
Jeez,
But
man.
yeah, incredible play. I mean, I guess as far as games played, like I mentioned, the Tampa, Florida, they've only played the one game so far, and Tampa does not look great. Looks kind of weird. I mean, they started out pretty strong. I mean, it was a 1-1 tie, and then there was a goal from the Panthers that, for whatever reason, John Cooper wanted to challenge for goalie interference. He
Yeah,
missed the challenge. The goal stands, so they go up a goal. They go on the power play. 10 or 15 seconds into that power play, they score another one. And so they're
yeah.
already up 2 goals, and they now have to come back. And I think it was like 5-1 before they started actually coming back. And it was 6-2 by the end of the game. So not a great outlook from Tampa's, I guess, coaching standpoint for at least that particular decision. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but they'll definitely look to turn it around next game because that crowd was silent. They were in Tampa,
Dude, that
so
decision by Cooper to challenge that was just nonsense
that was
as
wild.
well. And then the game situation was not in, like it didn't make sense to challenge it at all because it's the
Especially
middle of
right
the
then,
second period. Like, take a breath and let's
didn't make
keep
any
rolling.
sense.
Yeah, man, I didn't like that call.
I think, and
regret
Kachuk
picking
does come
Tampa.
back for game one, which is crazy. I mean, they did delay this series for whatever reason. I guess for Kachuk to get healthy. But yeah, he comes back and he plays. He gets 2 goals, I think, 3 points to overall, if I'm not mistaken. So played a hell of a game, and I think there's another player that had 2 goals. I can't remember, Shin or something like that.
Schmidt, Nate Schmidt. Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
not too familiar with him, if I'm being honest.
I'm not either. I just know that he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, that was a horrendous pick on my part to pick Tampa to go as far as I did.
I mean, it's a whole potentially get 7-game series, so I mean, there's a lot that can happen. But that first game was a rough outlook for what could be to come.
For sure. I think that'd be kind of fair to say about, I mean, Dallas, Colorado, but we have the hindsight of seeing game 2 and to be fair, game 1, while it was 5-1, it was not a 5-1 game. Dallas was a lot closer in it for 90% of it. There was an empty netter and then like a last second goal as well. But
what was Dallas, it, like 3 goals at the last 5 minutes or something crazy? I don't know.
Something along those lines. Yeah, they scored early in the third, I think. Then
it was like 1-2 for forever, and then they just scored all those at the last sec. Yeah,
and Blackwood had a great game too for Colorado.
Stood on his head,
yeah, so it was a really good game. They do take game 1, game 2. The Stars they shuffled the lines up,
and the Avs look so much better with a goalie. So,
dude, it's night and day.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
and their additions too with Coyle, with Nelson, with Natchez. I mean, every one of those.
Natchez has been playing his ass off since that trade. I don't know. I've just been seeing a lot of things like since the Rantanen trade. Carolina got nothing out of Rantanen, basically. And then, Natchez and someone else. I don't know. They've been contributing. And then, for whatever reason, I did see a graphic that currently Rantanen is -3 in the playoffs. So needs to step it up. I did see an article that Dallas needs him to step it up, so to speak. So we'll see what happens in this next game. Nice. But yeah, I mean, pretty big contract and pretty big trade for him to not really do as much in a, much needed situation. But hey.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know they switched up the lines between games 1 and 2, and dang, I should have had the exact line pulled up so I can tell you what they did, but I know it did work out well. I know Dodonov was involved with switching lines. Give me 5 seconds. I'll pull that up. That last game. Dodonov, Wyatt, Jamie Benn looked hella solid, of course. And then at the top, it's Granlund, Rope, and Rantanen. Whereas, of course, that would have been Robertson, but Robertson is hurt, so he cannot be there, obviously. But that line of the last line, Colin Blackwell, game 2, he hits the game winner. But that fourth line. Beck, Steele, and Blackwell, I loved how they played the entire game, man. Like, they're all muscle hearts, never give up type. Like the, oh, God. What was Eric Izar saying? The 43-yard guy? That's exactly how they play. But
yeah.
I think, man, like, because you're right. Rantanen is a big name, gets paid big money, and should make some big plays in the playoffs. Being that it's a new line because Robertson just got hurt, you kind of have to look at your depth to take care of business when your studs aren't doing it. And that, I mean, Blackwell is the epitome of that, coming in for Maverick Bork it was, and making a game-winning goal in overtime against Colorado. That's what Dallas was banking on coming into the playoffs, was its depth. And so Yeah, of course, Ranson does need to get it going, especially against his former team. But no, I love what I see from the offensive side of the Stars. Defensively, there's some work to be done. And again, Colorado, their additions and the studs they already had on the ice, it's a very difficult matchup. But going into the away stretch 1-1, I feel pretty solid about that, actually. I was pretty worried we'd be down 2-0 at this point, especially with the losing streak going into the playoffs. So, yeah, there's a little light there.
Finally won a game.
Finally, and it's against Colorado that in the playoffs. That's insane, man.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. Another good matchup. The Vegas Knights and Minnesota Wild. Kind of wild because it looked like Vegas was just going to run away with it. But last night, Minnesota just dominated. Absolute great play from Boldy and Kaprizov. Dude, Kaprizov had some nice Capri sauce. All right. You know, he's just tossing that stuff.
God.
But, what a great play. I think they connected on 2 goals, if not more, but they played a hell of a game, and that connection is solid. So, I mean, the Wild were already good. They started the season real hot. We kind of knew that they were some sense of dominant, but they've gotten healthy right at the best time. Kind of same with Florida, to be honest. They've just made it a series. Honestly, I don't really know who could win that series at this point with that recent game. So I know Vegas has played quite a great defense, and Aiden Hill is a stellar goalie regardless. But if Kaprizov and Boldy just keep making magic, I don't know what they'll be able to do.
Yeah, and look, they kind of did that in game 1, even though they lost. Their last goal was a combination Kaprizov Boldy goal. It cuts it to 1 with like 10 minutes to go.
Oh, they did connect on 3 over the playoffs, and yeah.
Jeez. And yeah, so it was an empty netter in game 1 that then puts it out of reach, but they were within striking distance for half of the third period. That's a fascinating series, man. I'm impressed by Minnesota, and I should expect something like this when we talk about, playoff hockey. Anyone can win, but you still have, your regular bias, or you have an assumption of the team that should dominate, and that has not been the case for the playoffs. And you could look at
the Wild, they just took that huge dip because of injury, but like I said, they've gotten healthy right at the best time. And just
that's fair.
Come in to dominate.
Kind of the opposite.
Because they were a top 3 team and they fell out to the wild card spot. So they're up against another top 3 team that is
sure.
around the similar caliber, I guess. But
you could look
hell of
at
a series.
So the winner of that series is going to play the winner of the Kings Edmonton series, and that Edmonton would be an example of a team that, and mind you, their stars showed up when it mattered. What's his name? McDavid.
McDavid had a hell of a goal.
Dude, my goodness. They went on a 3-goal run in the third period that tied it up. God, man. The Kings end up, edging them there 6-5, but it was an incredible run started by Corey Perry getting the first goal, but then he was wide open on that.
He was just wide open. The net was as empty as possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, well,
good play.
That the assist on that one, the assist on the next goal, both McDavid. Third goal is McDavid, and he also got the assist on the first goal that Edmonton had. So, players coming back healthy.
I think he had 4 out of the 5 goals, 4 points out of the 5 goals that were scored, or something like that. But
that's ridiculous, man. And it still wasn't
Kings
enough.
take that one, but it's still an interesting game. They blew a 4-0 lead. They came out shooting. And I saw a tweet that someone sent that said the Kings found out Stuart Skinner's weakness, and his weakness is shots on goal.
Yeah. Hey, man. And the Kings, they've got shooters, man. There's so many players on the Kings that can score. So that's going to be We both picked the Kings to win the series, knowing that McDavid and Draisaitl are playing the way they are. It's going to be
I figured you'd have picked the Oilers.
I had picked the Kings, but that one wasn't one I was super comfortable with. But I didn't know, how they would come back.
I felt pretty confident in it, but this last game, I don't know, man. Anything can happen. The Oilers defense stepping up, at least from the trade deadline and everything else they've added, I mean, they've got a pretty solid defense as well. Jake Wallman.
That being said, I feel like it's still going to be such a high-scoring series. Like, of course, game 1, 6-5, but I don't see any shortage.
I feel like they're more offensive, defensive players, but yeah. Because I feel like Jake Wallman, you put him in a shootout. He's a solid player.
Yeah, goodness.
But hey.
I think the only series we haven't we talked a little bit Winnipeg, St. Louis, right? You still feeling pretty solid about that pick you take in St. Louis?
I mean, I just don't believe in Winnipeg, and they're either going to lose this round or next. So it doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, St. Louis looked pretty solid in that first game and, held on for the most part for second game. I mean, they could have tied it up, but I don't know. I don't know what Jim Montgomery was doing at the end of that second game, singing along to the stereo blast from the arena.
Bro,
just lip syncing when your team's down 2-1. Come on, dude, get your head in the game.
Big veto on.
But hey, when your song comes on, you just gotta jam out, dude.
I guess so, man.
And to be fair, there was 3 minutes left in the game. But either way, you still gotta do what you need to do.
I've seen plenty of goals rattled off in the final 3 minutes. I briefly talked about Montreal forcing Washington into overtime last game. We both, of course, have Washington moving on. We don't foresee anything different there. While it's a close game 1, we expect Washington to go ahead and close that out, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the Habs are a young team and, have solid, foundation. But, they'll probably lose out from the veteran presence that the Capitals bring.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been there before, at least for the most part. And I know Ovechkin's won at least one Stanley Cup. I don't know. But definitely back in 2018. So, I mean, that's 7 years ago. And depending on the roster, I mean, there could still be a few players left on that same team. But, I still definitely feel confident. I still feel confident for the other series and Carolina and the Devils with the Hurricanes moving past. The Devils just kind of look lost. I mean, they made a better game this last one, but that first game was awful. I think a couple players got hurt as well. Just looked bad.
Did you see, what's the name of their goalie hitting his own player? I think he was frustrated trying to hit a Hurricane, and he hits a Devils player.
So, Markstrom, I think.
God, what an idiot.
It was bad.
Genuine idiot.
Speaking of goalies getting real feisty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, because we talked about Carolina's return from the why did I just forget?
Stankoven got 2 goals in one
trade.
game.
Yeah, Stankoven. That's what I was getting to. My goodness, 2 goals to open up the playoffs. I don't think that trade worked out very well for, I think, all Colorado, Carolina, Dallas. Each trade, I think,
we'll see what it's worked Dallas out so brings from Rantanen. I mean, he still hasn't really brought much to the table, but I mean,
don't get me wrong. He still needs to do a lot.
History
more,
hasn't been written.
It's the first year of an 8-year contract, and I think honestly it's just him
struggling getting used to whatever else.
I think there's some of that, and the lines keep changing. There's definitely some lulls going on with his first stint with the Stars, but I mean, like when he's controlling the pace of play, I mean, he's fantastic. And when he gets physical, like I like when he gets. Sometimes he'll get hit too, but I mean, he's Moose, right? Like, if you're Moose, I need you going trucking players, and he seemed a lot more physical his last Colorado game. So while the scoreboard doesn't always reflect it, I think the way he plays is such a positive for the Stars every time he's on the ice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but all that to credit Logan Stankoven. That was a tremendous prospect the Stars gave to Carolina, and he showed up immediately in his first stint with Carolina in the playoffs. So that was good for him, good for that team, I guess.
Yeah, he's looking solid. But yeah, like I was saying, speaking of goalies getting a real feisty, if anybody saw that Toronto Senators game most recently, Stolarz was beating the shit out of Ridley Gregg, and Ridley Gregg got penalized. It's ridiculous. He's just like out here just shoving him, swinging sticks, smacking him in the face, pushing him down, and then he gets penalized for, I guess, goalie interference, something. I don't know, man. But wild. Don't know what's going on there. Like I said, refs need to be a little bit better in some areas. But, yeah, I mean, just be a little bit more fair to what's going on. Because that was pretty stupid. They definitely care. They've got money on the games. They definitely care money about on the game.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But I know I picked the Senators, but like I said with Winnipeg, I just don't believe in the Leafs, so they'll probably either lose this round or next. So it may not be this round, but it most certainly will be next, if so.
Yeah, man.
Because, I mean, they're not beating the Panthers or the Lightning, so whoever. Boy, this guy saying he's got a perfect bracket. There's no way Vegas goes all the way and then loses to the Lightning.
It's possible, dog.
It's a horrible bracket you made.
Speaking of being perfect, the Pick'ems, Keaton. Do you want to know how you did last week?
I already know how I did. What do you mean?
You went 4-3 because you're garbage against the spread. I went 5-2 because I'm a beast. So comeback season is upon us. But the game's playing.
It's over.
Do you want to do the spreads for the playoffs?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, it's pretty much over.
All right, well, I got 3 games today, 4 tomorrow, and Friday's game if you want to go ahead and pick all those.
Every single game this week?
Pretty much.
Minus the weekend?
Yeah.
That's a lot of games, dude.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and start this week with Montreal. They're in Washington taking on the Capitals, where in Washington, spread is -1.5 to the Ovechkins. Who are you taking there?
I'm taking the Tom Wilsons, going with the Jacob Chychrins as well. They're going to play pretty solid in this series and just kind of close it out. I know they went to overtime last time, but I think they're just going to be able to shut it out. There might be an empty netter situation, and they'll capitalize on it.
I am expecting a better showing from the Caps there, so I will also take them -1.5. Stars and Avalanche game is at 8:30 in Colorado, where the Avalanche are -1.5. Who are you taking in that one?
Well, it's going to be an interesting game. Quite the question mark on Dallas's defense, but I will say that they try to keep a close game and at least cover the spread. I don't know if they'll win that game, but they'll be able to get that +1.5.
All right. I'm going to be a little pessimistic on my team. I hate to say it, but I am taking the Avalanche in that one. Moving on, we have the Oilers traveling to LA to take on the Kings, where the Kings
on TBS. I don't know why it's on TBS.
I don't know, but they are -1.5 in that one. Who are you taking?
I'm going to roll with the Kings. They are home, and while they did go to overtime this last game, they were up 4-0 early. And if there weren't any McDavid magic, I mean, they would have lost that game pretty easily. So I'm gonna roll with the Kings.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and gain a point on you there because I'm rolling with the Oilers to get it done.
Impossible.
Moving on to Thursday, tomorrow's games, we have the Panthers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on Lightning. The Lightning are a -1.5.
They're already in Tampa.
Who are you taking in that one?
You said the Lightning are -1.5?
That is correct.
Boy, I'm taking the Panthers.
Oh, wow.
They are crushing the Lightning. Absolutely. Definitely quite the showing that first game. And like I said, while anything could happen, I definitely still believe in the Panthers. They play quite the playoff hockey, and they're pretty sustainable.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lightning. Easy money.
You're an idiot.
We got the Maple Leafs traveling to Ottawa to take on the Senators, where the Senators are a -1.5. Who are you taking in that one?
Boy, this is insane. I'm taking the Maple Leafs in this one. I don't know why these spreads are so bad.
Yeah, I don't understand this one at all. I'm also taking the Leaves +1.5 there. Vegas is traveling to Minnesota to take on the Wild, where the spread in that one is Wild
just 'cause they're
+1.5. Who are you taking there?
The Wild are +1.5.
Yes.
I'm gonna take the Wild in this one. They'll probably just cover the spread. I don't know how they'll actually win or lose, but they'll cover that spread for sure.
Yeah, I too am taking the Wild, man. They've really come to play this series. They'll be back at home. Yeah, Wild for me. Last game on Thursday, second to last on our slate. We have the Winnipeg Jets traveling to St. Louis to take on the Blues, where the Blues are a +1.5. Who are you taking there?
Taking the Blues. They're gonna cover that spread.
Blues +1.5. That is going to be incorrect because Winnipeg's going to win by at least 2 and cover me that -1.
They're in St. Louis, dude. It's home advantage.
Yeah, let's hope.
Watch out.
Our last game, Friday, we have the Hurricanes traveling to Jersey take on the Devils, where the Devils are a +1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm going to take the Hurricane in this one.
Yeah.
Hurricanes, sorry, it's plural for whatever reason.
I too am taking the
There's multiple Hurricanes out there.
Yeah, the Devils are just trash, so I don't need to waste my time.
They're not trash. They just got dismantled by injury, and it's just disappointing to watch.
Yeah, don't need to worry about that. Keaton, we always do some prize picks betting. Last week, I got a dub. I went with Fantilli and Evgal, I believe, to get over 1.5 shots on goal each, and they both covered. So going into the playoffs on a high, I'm going to go ahead and continue that today. I'm going to go with the 3-man. We're going with Cale Makar to get a point today, Tyler Seguin to get a point today, and Connor McDavid to get over 1.5 shots on goal. That is free money, but also not advice because, this is not advice.
Yep.
Who are you taking, bud?
So last week was kind of depressing. I had a feeling I initially wanted to pick Chris Tanev and swapped my pick for Chris Weegar. At least I think that's his first name. And it ended up biting me in the ass. Mackenzie Weegar? Could be.
So.
I don't know. Weegar from the Flames. He's trash, dude. He's a fucking douchebag. He should have just not tried.
Jesus. He's a pretty solid player.
Either way, I'm glad he got his stats at the end of the day, but you lost me money, dude. Not quite. But anyway, rolling with a couple of awesome picks. I've got, actually, I don't remember what I have. I've got Jamie Benn with plus 1.5 shots on goal, as well as Dylan Strome with more than 9 face-off wins. Dylan Strome's going to dominate the Habs, and Jamie Benn, that's not too much to ask for 2 shots. So that captain better put in some work.
Es posible, for sure. Well, we'll go ahead and return next week with these sweet dubs. Keaton, this has been an already fantastic start to our playoffs. Only more to come. So we will have that recap next week. As for this week, am I forgetting anything, Keaton?
I don't think so. Should be a good series to watch for the rest of this matchup.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all take it easy. Peace.